players, 2 wins, and 1 new contest. What does all that mean? Find out on this episode of Kings This Week. Welcome back to Kings This Week. My name is Jordan Kiss. So the Kings coming off a huge weekend, picking up 2 victories on the island. But before we get into the weekend recap, there is one thing that happened before the road trip that we'll start our show off with today. Now on Thursday, the Kings making a move to add to their roster as the Kings traded the playing rights of 03 forward Liam Tanner to the Coquitlam Express in exchange for forwards Carter Cochran and Jaeger Murdoch. Carter is a 20-year-old out of Victoria. He was a veteran in the BCHL, playing over 100 games between the Express and the Prince George Spruce Kings, while Jaeger Murdoch is an 04 from West Vancouver and has played in 67 games in his BCHL career between the Express and the Nanaimo Clippers. After dropping the first 2 games at home to the Clippers, the Kings would hit the road in Nanaimo to kick off the away portion of the schedule, and it would be an uphill battle right from the get-go for the Kings, as they would be without Parker Lalonde, Anthony Lucarelli, and Max Poffin to kick off the road trip. But the Kings got off to the most perfect start on the road, just 3:36 in on the power play. Will Jones with a hard slap shot from the point. Goaltender Aiden Campbell leaves the rebound and came right to Nick Bricketta, who's all over it to put it in to give the Kings the 1-0 lead. That would be Nick Bricketta's second goal on the season. And at 14:26, Charles Tardif of Nanaimo would tie it up for the Clippers, going to the backhander over the shoulder of Liam Vanderkoy. But the Kings would take the lead going into the second period after 18:51 in the first period. Casey Young with a backhander towards the goal. Campbell leaves the rebound, and guess who's there? It is Marcus Deshevsky for his first BCHL goal as the Kings took a 2-1 lead into the second period. Now in the second, the Clippers would rally, scoring twice in the middle frame. First at 5:57 on a 4-on-3 power play. Skylar Cameron with a slap shot, assisted by Charles Tardif and Jeremy Payon. Then with 3 seconds to play in the period, Mike Murtagh would give the Clippers the late lead, just jamming away at the puck at the side of the goal. It will find its way over the goal line to give the Clippers a 3-2 lead, as the Clippers outshot the Kings 13-2 in the second period and 33-15 through 40 minutes. Now after a rough second period, the Kings would rally in the third, and they would tie the game 5 minutes into the period off a face-off win in the offensive zone. Caleb Bentham with a wrist shot from the point found its way through traffic, hit off the post, and into the back of the net past Campbell for his first in the BCHL. And just a minute 36 later, the Kings would get the lead right back. Marcus Deshevsky once again on the power play, his second of the game, after a great pass from Jack Blanchett. Deshevsky there in the slot to shoot it by Campbell, and the Kings were in front. Now the Clippers, like we saw on Saturday, did not go away in this game, and they would tie it up with 17:20 into the period. Ethan Mystery with a shot from the far boards that took a weird deflection in front, found its way under the arm of Liam Vanderkoy, and just like that, it was 4-4, and it looked like we were destined for overtime again. But at 18:32, Carter McNarland takes the puck in the offensive zone, puts it into the corner where Anthony Yu will pick it up. He will find Nick Bricketta, who was going hard to the net, and Bricketta would tap in the puck past Campbell to give the Kings the lead late, while Anthony Yu would seal the deal with the empty netter at 18:55, as the Kings would end their 13-game losing streak against the Clippers and pick up their first win of the season with a 6-4 victory, while Liam Vanderkoy made 41 saves for his first win as a King. Now on Saturday, the Kings will look to spoil another home opener as they took a trip to the Dog Pound in Port Alberni for a meeting with the Bulldogs as they look to win back-to-back games for the first time this season. But it was the Bulldogs who would get off to the early start in this game. They would score first, 7:50 in. Will Elger with a wrist shot from the left circle. It hit the glove of Vanderkoy, went right to Jules Bouillard, who potted it in for his first goal in the BCHL, as the Bulldogs would take a 1-0 lead into the second period, outshooting the Kings 14-4. score in the opening frame. In the second period, though, the Kings would find their scoring touch, and they would tie the game 3:04 in. It was Nick Burketta with a great play in the offensive zone to poke the puck away from Bulldogs defenseman Braden Blaise. He would then collect the puck and find a wide open Ryder Ringer, who made no mistake and fired one past Hobie Hedquist for his first BCHL goal, and to tie the game up 1-1. And the Kings would get the lead just a few minutes later on the power play. Anthony Yu, off a great pass from the side of the net from Ryder Ringer, Yu would one-time it in for his third goal in 3 games, as it was a 2-1 Kings lead. But the Bulldogs would tie it up at 8:18. Braden Blaise from the side of the net just jamming away at it and managed to sneak one past Vanderkoy to tie the game up. Now, at this point, Nick Burketta, midway through the period, would be assessed a 2-minute penalty for checking from behind, along with a game misconduct. And the Kings, who started the game with 11 forwards, were now down to 10, but that didn't seem to slow them down, as they would get the lead. 12:37 in the second period, a Will Jones point shot was deflected in front by Aaron Neal for his first on the year, as it made it 3-2 for the Kings. Now, late in the second period, the Kings looked to extend that lead to 2 as they had a late power play, but it was the Bulldogs who would get the first scoring opportunity on the Kings' man advantage. It was right off the face-off to kick off the power play. Bulldogs would go the other way. Nicholas Benito with a wrist shot from the right side, beating Liam Vanderkoy to tie the game up once again for Alberni. That one coming shorthanded. But the Kings had a quick answer just 20 seconds later. Once still on the power play, Colin McDougall with a wrist shot from the high slot found its way through Hobie Hedquist, as the Kings would take a 4-3 lead into the third period. Now, in the third period, the Bulldogs would not go away in this one, as Braden Blaise scores his second of the game to tie it up for Alberni at 5:53 in. A wrist shot took a bounce in front and again snuck through the arm of goaltender Liam Vanderkoy. But again, the Kings' power play would go to work once again midway through the period, and it was Carter Cochran who potted in the rebound off of Will Jones' point shot for his first goal in his second game as a King, as that turned out to be the game winner for the Kings after they would win 5-4 in Alberni against the Bulldogs. Liam Vanderkoy would make 39 saves for his second straight win, as Ryder Ringer would also earn first star honors, collecting a goal and 2 assists, while the special teams was a difference maker here in this game, with the power play going 3 for 7 and the penalty kill going 5 for 5. Now, after a successful weekend, the Kings would get some recognition for their efforts with the BCHL 3 Stars of the Week, as Nick Burketta and Anthony Yu were both named honorable mentions, both collecting 2 goals and 2 assists on the weekend road trip. Now, after 2 big wins on the weekend, the Kings return home to Hap Parker Arena this weekend for a doubleheader as they take on the Coquitlam Express this Friday and Saturday. Both games are slated for 7 o'clock to start. The Kings looking to improve on their season record from last year, as they only went 1-3 against the Express. As for the Express this year, not so hot of a start for them, dropping their first 3 games all on home ice, as they look to get their first win in their first road game of the season this Friday here in Powell River. You can get your tickets at tickets.powellriverkings.com, and don't forget to bring your sweet tooth to the game on Friday, as there will be a bake sale in the lobby prior to puck drop in support of the Powell River Minor Hockey U13 team. And we have a new contest here with the Kings, and I'm going to toss it over to goaltender Liam Vanderkoy to tell you what it's all about.
Hey Kings fans, it's Liam Vanderkoy here, goalie for the Powell River Kings. I need help from you to design my new mask for this season that J&D Signs is going to be making. It's open to all ages, open until October 21st. Go to powellriverkings.com for more information on the contest.
That is correct. You can design a new goalie mask for Liam Vanderkoy. The contest runs until October 21st and is open to everybody of all ages. You can go to powellriverkings.com/mask design contest to download the entry form, and you can hand in your completed work to the office or email it to me at jordan@powellriverkings.com. The winner will be selected by Liam, and the winner will work closely with our friends at J&D Signs to put together the completed mask. And that will wrap up another edition of Kings This Week. Once again, thank you very much for joining me. The Kings will kick off a 3-game homestand this weekend with 2 games against the Coquitlam Express this Friday and Saturday, both games at 7 o'clock as the Kings look to pick up their first home wins of the season. You can get your tickets online at tickets.powellriverkings.com. And don't forget about the bake sale on Friday in support of the Powell River Miners Hockey's U13 team. And if you can come to the game, feel free to join me on BCHL TV and Mixel. Our pregame show starts at 6:45. So I hope you enjoy these games this weekend. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you again next week. My name is Jordan Kiss. Go Kings, go.